Hello my friends, I'm Rich Larson and I'm the IRC Tire Guy. Today we'll be breaking down a technique that I wish everyone could see. So please share this video if it helps you out. This is a technique that is very simple and I can guarantee that it will work. Whether you're a hard enduro enthusiast who loves getting into situations that you can't get out of, a technical single track rider, or even a beginner trail rider, this is a breakdown of a correction of a mistake I see so often in technical situations. Today, we are going to show you how to properly push your machine. Now, if you're pushing your limits in your training or in your practice, you're probably getting into situations that are a little bit above your skill level. We're talking about those times when you get stuck in situations where you may not have that dialed ability to zap your machine out of, or even extremely slick situations where you may find it impossible to hold traction. Depending on your skill level, there is always a way out of these tough situations. And really, it's about putting yourself in these challenging places and learning the different techniques to get out. Now, if you haven't seen our Getting Unstuck breakdowns or our Stuff and Smash technique that really go hand in hand with getting unstuck, click up here to check that out. We'll also link all the additional recommended technique videos in the description. So today we're going to show you the proper technique for pushing your machine. This is one of those techniques I see done incorrectly over and over. Truthfully, there are going to be situations where you need to learn this. Sometimes you have to push your bike. Even the best in the world do it. The more efficient you are at pushing your machine, the more energy you are going to save, and the quicker you're going to get through those impossible sections. You'd be surprised how many times I break down this technique to one of my students and how often I see that light bulb moment in their eyes of, I've been doing this wrong the whole time. This is a technique that is counterintuitive, but I promise it will work. Now, let's talk about the main mistake I see, or what most riders are doing wrong. 99% of the time, when I see guys pushing their machine, they tend to give their bike way too much throttle. The fact is, if you're pushing your bike, you're probably frustrated. So that extra throttle usually stems from anger. And honestly, sometimes it just feels good to rev the hell out of the engine when it's not going your way. But the main tip I have to give to you guys is try to refrain from that. Spinning the tire digs a big hole and really makes it twice as hard to get out of the hole your rear tire dug. Not to mention, if you're in slick, muddy situations, spinning your tire actually makes what you're stuck on more slick. So again, you're making it harder on yourself. Those aren't the only reasons for keeping your RPMs low in situations you need to push your machine. The main reason is best demonstrated on a side hill. In side hill situations, the main thing you're trying to avoid is letting the rear tire drop below the line you're riding on. We all know it's much harder to get the bike back up onto the top of the trail than drop below it. If you give your machine too much throttle, the rear tire will inevitably spin and drop. That's the main thing we're trying to avoid when pushing our machine. The focus is to put efficient traction to the ground. Now, how do we do that? Simply put, we push the machine with our body. Now, I know what you're saying. That sounds like you would expend more energy, right? Not if you do it correctly. What we're actually doing is combining the low-in lug of your machine with the strength of your own body to help the machine move forward slowly with efficient traction. Basically put, you're adding the lowest amount of throttle possible and slipping the clutch just enough to almost move your bike forward. Much like the clutch control drills we've shown in the past, adding throttle and slipping the clutch on an incline to basically hold your bike in one position. Then, while continuing to slip the clutch, adding the power of your body to move the machine forward with efficient traction. You're basically reducing the weight of your machine by slipping the clutch. Just like if you were to push your bike with the engine off, you're using your upper body strength almost like a bench press. Also, pushing through the ground with planted legs. But with the added slip of the clutch and throttle, the energy needed from your own strength to move the bike forward is significantly reduced. This again also increases the ability to hold traction in the really slick, technical, and steep situations. Notice the difference in energy I expend when pushing my bike with full power to the wheel compared to the same hill with efficient traction. You can tell that I'm not only saving energy, I'm also saving the all-important tread life of my tire. Another important point here is the JX8 Gakota that I'm running in this video is actually really worn and rounded. Of course, it's a super soft gummy compound and it's very helpful in these situations, but really the main focus is on your own throttle and clutch control. When practicing this technique, the focus should always be on as little throttle as possible. I've always said I'd rather you kill your machine than over rev and spin the tire. And that goes double for this technique. As an addition to this technique, it can also be done in certain situations while still remaining on your machine. Using the same lug and slip on the clutch, putting just enough forward propulsion into the rear tire to hold the bike in one place. Then, keeping one foot on the peg, I push down through the ground with my other foot, as well as drive my arms through the bars to help the machine creep forward along the trail. This type of technique, like most, is heavily reliant on your clutch control abilities. Learning how to put consistent and constant traction to the ground will really be the decider in your success in technical situations. I hope you guys give these techniques a shot and they work as good for you as they do for me. I hope you guys are also enjoying the channel. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, as well as follow us on Instagram at IRC Moto and my personal Instagram page at RichLarson511. And until next time, keep shredding.